Ms. Jessica Tan.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of the bill. At this juncture, I also want to declare my interest as I work for an organization that handles work injury assessments. Employers have a duty of care to provide a safe environment for those who work for them. The Work Injury Compensation Act's no-fault system ensures that employees receive fair compensation for work-related injuries or illnesses without having to go through the lengthy and costly process of taking legal actions against the employer. In 2018, while there was a drop in the number of workplace fatal injury cases from the year before, workplace injury cases increased from 12,498 cases in 2017 to 12,810 cases in 2018. Both workplace major and minor injuries saw an increase in the number of cases. The proposed enhancements to compensation to keep pace with healthcare costs and wage growth, and the amendments to make it compulsory for employers to take work injury compensation insurance coverage for employees will provide assurance to employees of fair compensation and ensure timely payout of compensation. Since 2017, there were 4 cases referred to the Singapore Medical Council for investigation where doctors were suspected of issuing inappropriate medical certificate to workers that had work injuries. The proposed amendments to make all medical certificates and light duties reportable, and an expansion of compensation to cover workers on light duties due to work injury will be key to preventing employers from influencing doctors on the prescription of MCs. This ensures that workers are given appropriate number of days of MCs for their recovery and care. With employers having to take compulsory insurance coverage for work injury compensation, we must, however, be cognizant that this will have increased cost impact for businesses. Clause 24 states that the insurance policies must be approved policies with one or more designated insurers, and that a minimum coverage may be stipulated. Clause 26 requires that an approved policy must contain all the prescribed compulsory terms and disallow derogatory of compulsory terms. Clause 25 outlines the penalties for employers who breach the terms set out in Clause 24, which includes fines, imprisonment, or both. With such obligations which placed on employers, what measures will there be to ensure insurance premiums for work insurance compensations remain affordable and sustainable for businesses, especially given the current market challenges that businesses are facing? I was glad that MOS stated that there will be a phased approach taken in the implementation of the amendments. MOS did say that 90% of companies are already insured. But despite this, because of the increased scope of compensation that will come with the amendments, as well as the fact that more employees will be required to be covered under this Act, it will definitely increase the cost of premiums. So I do hope that there will be measures to also look at the premium affordability and the trends of how that goes. The proposed new regulatory regime for the workplace insurance compensation does, however, offer better protection for employers as well, as only insurers licensed by MOM are allowed to sell the approved WIC policies. MOM's endorsement of a standard WIC policy with a core set of insurance terms and conditions will also help ensure claims are paid and employers will not be faced with exclusions, having to make out-of-pocket payment and compensation to employees despite having insurance coverage. The regime will also require licensed insurers to process all WIC claims in accordance to stipulated terms and conditions guidelines, as well as processing timeliness. So, and in the event of disputes, this will be reviewed and handled by MOM. So this does provide additional protection for employers directly. Under the current Act as well, employers have no recourse against fraudulent claims if they had made payment for medical medical, permanent incapacity, or death compensations. The proposed amendment of the Act will enable restitution to be paid to employers for false claims. So, but as outlined in Clause 33 of the bill, insurers will be also required to provide MOM with policy and claims history information. This information will be centralized and, I believe, shared with insurers to allow insurers to differentiate premiums based on claims history and the risk profile employers. This concept is a novel idea and may encourage employers to ensure safe and healthy workplaces. However, the devil's always in the details and the actual implementation. And so can MOS share more information on how this will work? Will there be greater transparency on the differentiation of premiums? And will employers also be provided with information of the insurance premium trends to allow them to also make better premium decisions on the insurers that they select? I would also ask that MOM consider the approach of sharing of information of good work safety practices of employers and having this included as part of premium differentiation, because this will help also prevent a practice of underreporting, because if reporting was the only, if the claimants and claims history was the way of premium differentiation, it could lead to a dangerous situation of underreporting. With the proposal for new and enhanced penalties to deter employers from non-compliance, I do also ask how MOM will keep track of compliance to ensure that employers do, in fact, take up weak insurance coverage for their employees and reporting of all work injuries and illnesses. At the same time, will there also be tracking of the adequacy as well as the timeliness of payouts by insurers to ensure that employees do get paid appropriately as well as in a timely manner? Ultimately, the best protection for workers and for employers is to have safety protocols and training to ensure a safe work environment. While employers have the duty of care to provide safe working environment for their employees, employees also do need to adhere to safe work practices as they carry out their work, and this will help them minimize the number of injuries as well as diseases in the workplace. Mr. Speaker, I support the bill. Thank you.